Hello and welcome back to Gospel First. And today we're going to be focusing on Acts chapter 10, verse 34 to 35. Now, to begin our lesson, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a moment where everything you believed, everything you were comfortable with, suddenly shifted? Maybe it was a decision in your family, a change at church, or something God was asking you to do that didn't make sense at first. What do you do when God leads you somewhere unexpected? Today's story is about one of the biggest turning points in Christianity, when God showed his people that his love was bigger than their tradition. So let's begin. In Acts chapter 10, verse 34 to 35, we step into a moment where the early church is about to change forever. It says, God does not show favoritism, but accepts from every nation the one who fears him and does what is right. Up to this point, followers of Jesus Christ were almost entirely Jewish. Now that meant centuries of tradition shaped how they lived, ate, worshipped, and who they associated with. Then God introduces a man named Cornelius. He's not Jewish. He's a Roman centurion, a military leader, an outsider. But he's also a man who prays, gives generously, and seeks God sincerely, and God sees him. Now this is critical. God responds to sincere seekers even before they fully understand him. Cornelius receives a vision telling him to send for Peter. At the same time, Peter receives a vision that completely disrupts his worldview, a sheet filled with animals considered unclean, and a voice telling him to eat. Well, Peter resists. This is not how I've lived. But God responds, do not call anything impure that God has made clean. This is not about food. This is about people. So here's the principle. God often teaches through experience, not just instruction. Revelation frequently challenges tradition. God's work expands beyond our comfort zone. Here we see Peter that had 1,500 years of tradition behind him, and yet God was doing something new. A man once admitted he had quietly judged others for years. Different background, different lifestyle. And one day he sat across from someone he would have avoided before. He listened and later said, I realized I was seeing people the way God sees them. And that's exactly what Peter discovers. And here's a key turning point. Peter meets Cornelius. He walks into his home, which is something unthinkable for a Jew, and it's because God had already prepared the way. And Peter says, God has shown me that I should not call anyone impure or unclean. Then something remarkable happens. The Holy Spirit falls on the Gentiles. Before baptism, before full understanding, God confirms they belong. Now, have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Or maybe you've struggled to accept someone else? Now, this story reminds us that God sees hearts, not labels. God moves ahead of our assumptions, and God includes people we might overlook. So in closing, here's my invitation for today. Who is God asking you to see differently? Because God doesn't just change direction, he changes hearts. Well, that's it for another day. Thank you for staying faithful to the journey. May the Spirit continue to fill your heart and draw you closer to Jesus Christ. If your heart feels even a gentle nudge, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share so that we can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ together. And I'll see you next time as we continue our studies in the book of Acts, chapter 15, verses 10 to 11. And it's all about what it means to follow Christ. Until then, God bless.